Hi everyone. Welcome back. This is Amateur Planet. End of the fucking world edition. You know, I know it's looking really scary out there, and I just started as a content creator, whatever that means, but I do feel like even though I should use my limited platform, just, you know, when my grandkids look at this YouTube channel and ask, you know, what were you doing during coronavirus? Apparently my grandkids are Bill Clinton, you know, what were you doing when the coronavirus hit? That was a terrible Bill Clinton impression, but that's what you get here at Amateur Planet, all right? I want to say I was making dank memes for the YouTube. So I just want to, I do want to use my platform while I have one to, you know, be that, I just calm the fuck down. You know, I do deeply believe that in times of crisis, especially, and it does look like we are headed into one of those times. You know, we all have that shared humanity, that shared common goal, or when Woo! Oh, that's good. Oh. Yep. Yeah, that's oh, that's good stuff. And when the chips are down, I really do think that people tend to come together. They really, you know, we kind of come together as a community or as a country, and we do tend to, you know, put the petty things aside, and we're there for each other, and that's kind of what has allowed us to thrive on this planet.
Food of the gods.
For as long as
food of the gods.
So even though it looks scary and it might look divisive and it might look out there, you know, just know that like people are, I think, fundamentally good. And excuse me, do you have to do that? Do you have to do that right now? Yeah, you can't do it. Maybe a different time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was I being?
Yeah, you kinda are. You kinda are. Getting a little in the way.
All right. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ask. What even are those? What even are you doing? Yeah. What even is this? I was just eating my fruit. Those are fruit. My fruit for the day. You know, they say you're supposed to have you know, some fruit every day. So I figured I'd eat a little fruit. What flavor are they? You know, they're Jolly Rancher flavored.
They're fruit flavored.
Well, which is it? Are they? I mean, so is it? So they're candy. That's
not
candy.
necessarily.
It's
I mean,
candy I think is a strong word. It's candy. You know, legally I don't think they'd be allowed to call themselves fruit. I don't know if you see it on the box here. If you see it like on the box here, it says fruit.
It says
that
fruit.
They are fruit flavored snacks. The snacks are fruit flavored.
It can't be fruit flavored if it's Jolly Rancher flavored. Jolly Rancher isn't fruit flavored.
That's true, but it does say that, you know, there aren't any artificial flavors. And Jolly Ranchers are artificial, and, you know, candy is artificial, but fruit is not artificial. Fruit is natural.
Where'd you even get it?
I got it. I went to the store.
You went to the store?
I went to the store. No, they just fell out of didn't you see the news? It was oh shit! It's raining fruit roll-ups.
What did you get?
Well, I'm actually glad that you asked. Now I'm glad that you asked. Because
so you got like necessities.
All the necessities, everything that we need. I figured, you know, they're saying that you should take care of your body.
Good.
Because if you're unhealthy now, if you get the coronavirus, it'll only help the virus. It'll only help the virus if you. So I got some fruit for us.
That's not.
And get this, all right. See, here I got these. I got these. I'll see. I got these. Okay. Right. Oh, wow. All right. So as I was, boom, I got 16 boxes Of life?
Life?
So what's the biggest fear here, right? What's
like
the
the
biggest
cereal?
fear when you have coronavirus, right? And they're saying, 125% of the world is going to get it, right? We're going to get it. What's the most important thing we can get when we have it, right? Well, what are we afraid of? We're afraid that we're going to die. Well, you can't die if you're eating life, baby. And just in case, you got, I got 102 rolls of toilet paper. I hear this stuff's going to be big when our currency system, when our economic system collapses. I'm sorry, what? And you know what they say? When everything goes to shit, the one who can wipe his ass the best wins. Wait, no, I can do something with that. Anyway, as I was saying, people are fucking stupid, pooping for days. Every man for himself. All right? People are stupid. The government doesn't know what it's doing. This is going to get way worse before it gets better. And when it gets better, revolution, baby. All right? We need socialist revolution. Marx was right. This is an unsustainable system. We need We need to burn it down. Killmonger was right. Killmonger was right. Okay. Thanos did nothing wrong. Maybe not Thanos, but Killmonger for sure. Hey, man, you laugh. You laugh now. But you know what else is doomed? This Artemis Fowl movie. Boom!
Now look around. This is what they call greatness.
But we are not alone in this.
Mulch Diggum's just a talented giant dwarf.
And I'm Holly Short, your ally on the other side.
Boom! Look at that. Segway. Let's go, boy. Amateur Planet. Woo! 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 We're all gonna die. Woo! Woo! Jeez. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Artemis Fowl is present tense the only book series I've ever read. While all the other kids were reading Harry Potter or Hunger Games. Were kids reading Hunger Games? Probably, right? I was reading Artemis Fowl because I was a nerd. I also read this book series called Hive. I think that was like a European one too. It was like a school. It was like a high school. Get this, for supervillains. And then like the one kid was like a computer or some shit. Anyway, I hope they make a movie about that and then fuck it all up. I've been seeing like Facebook groups and people on the internet. Whenever there's a backlash, there's like a backlash to the backlash. And the backlash to this backlash is saying, essentially, if you were a true fan of Artemis Fowl, if you were a true fan of the character, you would, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and eat your slop. Shut up and eat your dirt. But here's what I have to say about that. If you were a real fan, you would be upset because this thing that they are unleashing onto the world. It's not Artemis Fowl. No, it's not Artemis Fowl. And listen, I think at the end of the day, sorry, I have a big old bag of quarantine food. At the end of the day, I think the biggest thing, the reason that so many people are upset, whether they know it or not, is that they understand with the release of this trailer, they understand what this trailer means for the movie as a whole. And it's not looking good. The main thing and the main problem, the main issue that I think people have, if I remember correctly, and I am gonna reread the first book so that I can keep bitching about this, and there's nothing any of you can do to stop me, ha! The thing that people were upset about is that the trailer gave away the structure of the film, and that anyone who has ever seen a movie before would be able to look at that trailer and tell where these specific elements were going to present themselves within the film, where the fans of Artemis Fowl, especially people who have read the books, are noticing changes, obviously, but I feel like they'd be, giving people the benefit of the doubt. I feel like they'd be okay with those changes if they agreed with them and if they were good. But I think what people are picking up on, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, is that Artemis Fowl as a character is going to be a fish out of water for a good portion of this movie, maybe even going into the third act. So let's kind of do, I don't have enough green screen for this, but if we have, like, on one side, we have the Artemis Fowl from the books. On the other side, we have the Artemis Fowl that we are getting in this movie. The Artemis Fowl from the books knew about all of this fairy shit from the beginning. He started out the book knowing about the fairy shit, okay? And that's important because all of the decisions that he makes from the beginning of the book, from the first time we see him, are informed decisions. They're all part of a larger plan that he is trying to enact. And that's what made Artemis Fowl as a character really cool. He's not so much meant to be likable. He is, he's smart, he's quippy, he's witty, but he's proactive is the main. He's determined, he's dedicated. He has information that people around him don't have. I don't believe Butler knew what was going on entirely. I mean, Artemis was kind of the one that he was the one that did the exposition. Very rarely did he get expositioned to. In this movie, it seems like he's gonna have a lot of exposition. Butler is going to give him exposition. Holly Short, now an ally, is going to give him a lot of exposition. Opal is probably going to give him a lot of exposition. He's just going to get talked down to this whole movie. He doesn't have the knowledge to make to make proactive decisions, which isn't how it was in the books. What does that do? It robs Artemis Fowl of agency within the story. Agency. And agency is very important when it comes to agency. Is very important when it comes to, just movies, when it comes to stories, when it comes to storytelling. Unless the idea of the story is to rob, a lot of horror films play with this, the idea of robbing a character of agency, of taking their freedom of choice. But Artemis Fowl's character has always been one, he's been around for... Artemis Fowl's character, especially in the first book, is very proactive. Now, we're going to have to spend a good portion of the first act, which I assume is going to be dedicated to the father, seeing the dad and him disappearing, and then the exposition dump from Butler, him finding out the witch, going to the tree, meeting Holly Short, where I guess they won't kidnap her, and and then she gives him exposition when they go into the fairy place. Opal's probably going to have a lot to say. I actually don't see Opal being in the movie very much. I think she's going to be one of those villains, but you get what I'm saying. It takes away his agency. It takes away that proactive nature that made his character such an interesting one to follow throughout the course of the book. The other thing, keeping on Artemis, is that because he is the villain, he's the villain in the book. He is the one, and they do this really well. Ian Colfer, the author of the book, he does this very well by showing us the other side. We kind of go back and forth in the books. Artemis's team, the squad, and Holly Short's side, the fairy side, and how they are going to react to what Artemis does. So we get to see the impact of his actions, or the impact that his actions have on the fairy world, and how they plan on reacting to that. That's a pretty big part of the book. Pulling these two things together, giving the fairies and Artemis like a common enemy. I mean, again, this just isn't, it's not even an adaptation of the book anymore. Like, that is the book. The point that I was trying to make is that I got super sidelined. Wow. I was going to make a point about Artemis Fowl's personality. and the fact that Artemis Fowl wasn't meant to be likable in the first book. He wasn't meant to be likable, he was meant to be sympathetic. He's meant to be sympathetic in the sense that we find out why he's doing this, and when we figure out why, it's to get his dad back. His dad wasn't kidnapped, his dad was missing, and he wanted to, I believe, steal and his mom was going insane, or was already insane. Like, he wasn't living in a happy home. So when we figure out why it is that he wants to, that he's doing all of this, it's like, oh, he's actually doing things for his family. He's trying to find his dad, he's trying to fix his mom. You know, he's a sympathetic character, even if he's kind of an asshole. And they work on the asshole thing over the course of the books, right? The reason that he could get away with being an asshole is because, one, he's sympathetic, and two, he's proactive. That's a really big part of it. If you take that away from him, I didn't see his mom once in the trailer. I don't know, maybe she was there. I don't remember seeing her. They didn't mention her. I don't know if they're even gonna have her, honestly. I don't know if they, you know, with all the changes that they're making, maybe the crazy mom is a step too far. But I don't think they're gonna have the mom, so that's gonna be gone. And the dad isn't missing indefinitely. He's just been kidnapped, and I assume they'll rescue him by the end of the books, or by the end of the movie, I mean. So that sympathetic layer is a little lessened. I think that it really adds to the sympathy of the character that he doesn't know for sure whether or not he can get his father back. That he's going through these drastic lengths to start an exposition, to start a search for a man that he doesn't even know if he's still alive or not, right? Now, he's still alive. He's over there. You just gotta go get him. And, you know, do it. You have fairies on the inside or whatever, you know? And I think people have a problem with that. The second point is Holly Short. I don't even know what they're gonna do with her. I mean, we all know what they're doing with her, but I don't know how it'll work within the context of the movie. But when it comes to Holly Short, again, all of the changes that they've made only serve to make her a weaker, less interesting character. The first thing is that the whole LEP recon, right? She is the first female captain in the LEP recon unit. You have Commander Root, who is now played by Judi Dench. And I'm excited to see what Judi does in the role, but this is the one time where adding more women made a thing less feminist, because now the only position I see Holly Short really playing is leading Artemis around and telling him things about the fairy world. Whereas before, it's funny, is before she was a hostage, but she had more character. Now, like, you take that away, you take away the whole kind of sexism angle that the book had and the pressure that put on her, and I don't know if you have much else. And we got a really intimate view of Holly Short's like day-to-day life, if I remember correctly. So yeah, and again, it's like now they're not going to be following the books, obviously. But it's like, what are they going to do instead? What are they going to replace that with? Are they going to replace it with anything? Because really the only thing of substance that we get from Holly is when she says, I'm going to be, or, you know, you have allies on the other side. And it's like, they're supposed to hate each other. In the book, in case you haven't read the book, which you should, because this is the one time I get to say this, the book is definitely going to be better than the movie. Yeah, Artemis kidnaps Holly, and she's like locked in a room the whole time, and it's like you get to cut back to her like trying to escape, and then eventually helping Artemis because they do the time thing and drop a troll on the house, and it seems like they're keeping that, but it also seems like there's this it sucks because I feel like I'm being gaslit a little bit in terms of not really, it's been a while since I've read the book and I don't really remember what happens, and it's like, was there an army of goblins? I think was that in the first book? No, that was in Opal Deception. I don't think there was an army of goblins. I think the stakes for this one were relatively low. There was a pretty clear direction. Opal definitely wasn't the main villain. If anything, the fairies, Commander Root was the main villain, and Holly Short. But yeah, then Holly like helps them out at the end, and it's like a good arc for everyone involved. I also didn't see Foley in this. I hope he's not the guy sitting in the chair interviewing Diggums, Mulch, at the beginning, because that was not a centaur. I was promised a centaur. Is there anything else? Yeah, so at the end of the day, the point that I'm trying to make is that I feel like when people look at this trailer and get upset, they're upset because the characters have been fundamentally changed, and changed in a way that affects the core of who those characters were, but we don't see a replacement for that core. So now they're just these hollow shells of characters with a lack of with no agency. Like they have no, like their ability to be proactive has been significantly lessened, and now it feels like it feels more generic as a film. How does that come into play with Holly Short? Well, Holly Short, again, her kind of thing, it would be like, okay, we're gonna make Zootopia again, but Judy Hopps isn't actually the first, what was it? The first herbivore, or whatever it was in that movie. She isn't actually that. Also, it isn't really her dream to be a police officer. She just kind of fell into it. And it's like, okay, that's a little less interesting than, you know, watching a little girl's dream come true. She gets to be a police officer and then have to deal with the prejudice of the system favoring a certain group of people. Now it's just, no, there is no systemic oppression, and also she doesn't really care about the job that much. It's like, okay, cool, so what's the story then? Like, where is she gonna go? What's her arc? What does she care about? We don't know that anymore. We used to know these things, but now we don't, and I think that's throwing a lot of people off. These are really big chunks of the film. The conflict between Artemis and the fairies, gone. That's a big portion of the film. The idea that Artemis Fowl knows about the fairies beforehand and Butler doesn't, gone. That is basically the whole book. So it looks like they're keeping the third act intact, but they're also adding this dumb thing that they need to stop, and it's a big Disney like trope at this point, is just kind of the, you know, like, it's not good enough to have like a 1v1. Like, now there needs to be a big army of people that you fight as well. So now, like, you see like the shots of like the goblins or whatever they are. Yeah, it's gonna be a big army fight at the end. On top of what's going on in the mansion with the trolls, there's gonna be a big army fight like in Maleficent or whatever. It's like, not necessary. We didn't need it. What's more, if he does get his dad back at the end, I don't know how. Are they making an Arctic Incident book? I mean, movie? Are they making an Arctic Incident movie? I'm not sure. I don't know where they go from here. I don't even know if we get a second one, honestly. They're probably not going to make their budget back. We'll see. But as it's going right now, I just don't know if this is, you know, for people who, I mean, they lost people who have read the books, because we're like, this looks bad. But also, I don't see this bringing in people who haven't read the books. I don't see them going, especially with the generic, because like with the first trailer, I was really interested because it obviously wasn't done and they were just kind of showing off what they had, but the music choice specifically, right? They used Dex Dark by Radiohead, which is a pretty bizarre, and they gave it the whole trailer treatment, but kept the original vocals. That was important because a lot of times people just go with like a cover of the song and do the whole trailer, they'll trailer it up, but it'll be like a cover. It was Tom York's voice, but they trailered it up, and I want that version of the song because it was really good. But it was also a very unique choice for the film, for the trailer, for the teaser trailer. Very unique choice. And it made me think, oh, like they're gonna be like, maybe this is, you know, they're gonna make unique choices. And they definitely did do that. They made a lot of very unique choices. I wish they hadn't. I wish they had. But yeah, no, they chose like a generic rap song, threw a few rap verses in there, and not even verses, just lines. And it was like, this is kind of boring, but that's what we got. So yeah, that's why I think a lot of people aren't digging the new trailer. I'm still gonna see the movie. We have like a month before it comes out, but I'm gonna see it. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. I mean, come on. What's going on out here, huh? What's going on out there? Jeez, is it? Wow. It's a nightmare out there, huh? So if there are movie theaters in the near future, let's see the movie, or maybe they'll just release it digitally and I'll never be able to go to another movie theater again. Regal better not be taking my money, my monies, because do I look weird? Terrible posture. It's too late now. I don't have anything else to talk about. So until the next time.